Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Okay, and here we go. Now, as I said I was going to do in my last video, in this video, I'm going to be giving my thoughts on how I felt about seeing E.T. in IMAX. So E.T. was just released in IMAX just this past Friday to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the movie. Yeah, and of course, I did see it. Yeah, I really did want to see it. Like E.T., of course, is like one of the greatest movies of all time, and yeah, and I did, of course, like want to see this movie in IMAX. So yeah, and so I went to see it this past Friday, and yeah, and in this video, I'm just gonna talk about like what I thought about E.T. in IMAX. Yeah, so yeah, before I start, of course, like I just want to say, like I'm not really gonna be like really going like in depth into the movie because yeah, I already reviewed ET a few years ago. So yeah, so if you really want to like hear me like really actually like talking about the movie, like I'll have my review for the movie down in the description if you want to watch that. Yeah. Yeah, here like I'm really not really going to be like going in depth about the movie. Like I'm not really going to be like going through like the premise or the plot or anything because yeah, I already did that in my review. Like in this video, what I'm really just going to be doing is I'm going to really just be talking about like how how this movie really did like a uh, come off in IMAX, like how it looked and how it sounded, and just like how like the it, the experience really was actually seeing this movie in IMAX. So yeah, so that's really like what this video is gonna be. All right. So yeah. So yeah, I had already like seen ET in the theater before this. Like, of course, like they did release a ET in theaters like 20 years ago to celebrate the 20th anniversary, like with some like new footage and stuff. Yeah, and I did see it like back when it was released in theaters for the 20th anniversary. Yeah, but that was just like a regular type of theater. Like that wasn't actually an IMAX. Yeah, so yeah, when I heard it was released in IMAX, I just this figured, well, yeah, could go one up, and just since like this is ET, it is like one of the greatest movies of all time. Like seeing it in IMAX is just like gonna would be like awesome to do. Yeah, so I decided just to go one up and actually see this movie in IMAX. Yeah, and I got to say, yeah, the movie did was pretty awesome to see in IMAX. Yeah, I mean, it just really was like a pretty awesome. Just yeah, I mean, you have just like the giant screen. It's like in the film quality is better, like the actual picture quality, and the sound is great, and just yeah, just seeing this in IMAX, it was like pretty freaking awesome. Like I told you guys before, how like the only movie that I really had seen in IMAX was Spider-Man: No Way Home when that was released this past December. Yeah, that was really like the yeah, that's like the only movie I have actually seen in IMAX. Yeah, so this was just the second movie that I had seen. Yeah, yeah, but yeah, ET and IMAX, like this really was like really great to see. Like just yeah, like I said, just like the picture quality of the film, it really did look like really awesome. It was just like totally restored in IMAX. Yeah, and plus yeah, it really did like have like some really clear sound. It just really did sound just absolutely awesome. Yeah. So yeah, just yeah, the best thing about seeing this film on IMAX really was the music. Like John Williams' score in this movie. Like it just really sounded like just absolutely great in IMAX. Just yeah, I mean you just like hear his score throughout the movie, and it just sounds really great. Whether it's like the uh, the theme for the movie, such as like when they're like flying their bikes in the sky, whether it's that or just like the other music that is like played throughout the movie. Like it really is just like really great. Yeah, yeah, just yeah, that was really like the best part of it. Just like hearing the music just with like real like better sound and all that. Just yeah, it really just did sound like so great hearing it in the theater. Like back when I saw this film like in the theater for the 20th anniversary, like I really don't remember it really us really like having like, well, I guess like it kind of like was like kind of like amped up, but yeah, just hearing it in IMAX, you really just like hear like how crystal clear and just how great the music really is. Like even just like seeing this movie like on TV, like the music is of course great, but just hearing it in IMAX, it just like sounds amazing. And yeah, so the music in this here listening to the music in IMAX, I think really was like the best part of seeing it in IMAX. Yeah, yeah, and there were like some like yeah, and as far as like how like some how a lot of the scenes did look in IMAX, like I really do think like the best stuff parts of this film seeing it in IMAX really were just like when ET was really like demonstrating his or was really just like displaying his abilities and just a lot of the scenes like with ET it really they really did look great such as like the scenes like where he's flying the bikes just like when you see that visual of like Elliot flying the bike like past the moon like that really just looked really great in IMAX yeah, and also like when you see like the ship like in the beginning and the end of the film, like that did look really great. Hey, yeah, and just yeah, whenever you really did see like ET on screen, he really did look like really great in IMAX. Actually, yeah. So yeah, so I really do think like really like the highlights of the IMAX presentation of the film really like are just the ET scenes. Like everything else really just like came across as just like pretty much the same as like when like just seeing this film on TV. Yeah, but yeah, the scenes with ET himself are like really like the true highlights of the film. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that's some stuff I liked about it. Like something that I like didn't really particularly like about the film in IMAX at least is just yeah with like the amped up sound and everything like it really just can like really like make you like see like how annoying the kids can really be in the film like particularly like whenever they're screaming such as like Elliot or Gertie like whenever they were like screaming in the film such as like when they saw ET or whatever the case may be just oh the screams were just like so annoying like when Elliot first sees ET and they scream at each other like that was really annoying like, and when Gertie first saw ET and she screamed like that was annoying and stuff yeah and even like the other time where Elliot screams, such as like the scene where he is like freeing the frogs in the classroom and other stuff like that. Just like when he's like really yelling, or even that scene like when they're like when like the astronauts and the doctors and stuff are actually like testing Elliot and ET when Elliot is trying to get everybody to back off ET like you're scaring him just with the amped up sound like you really do like realize how annoying his voice can really be so yeah, that's something that I wasn't didn't particularly like about seeing it. Just like how you can really realize like how annoying the kids really are. Like when I'm just watching the film like on TV or something, like yeah, it's really not that bad at all. Like they really don't annoy me, but seeing it here, like that was just like so annoying to listen to. So yeah, that's something I didn't particularly like. Yeah, yeah, and I guess like something else that I guess I will talk about with like this film in IMAX is that like I wasn't really too sure if like this was really going to be like an extended version of the film because I remember like when they released the film in the theaters for the 20th anniversary, they did add some new footage to it as I mentioned earlier. Yeah. So I wasn't really sure if like it was going to be like this IMAX presentation was actually going to be like that version, or if they were going to add some other footage into it. But yeah, they really didn't. This really just seemed to really be just like the regular theatrical cut of the movie. Yeah, because I remember like there was like some scenes added in the movie when they released it for the 20th anniversary. I remember there was like the scene where like Elliot is like pretending to be sick to stay home with ET. Like I remember there was like a scene added into the movie where like he's on the phone with his mother, and I guess like ET was doing something, and and Elliot was like trying to go, telling his mom he was like had to throw up, and then when like she like continued to try to talk to him, like I remember like he just like pretended to throw up, but was just like pouring some coke onto the phone. Like that's something that I do remember when this film was released for the 20th anniversary. I remember seeing that when I saw this film back then. Yeah, and they did also like add in a scene where like where the mother does like go after the kids on Halloween night after they've been out for too long, and she does like pick up Mike and Gertie. Yeah, I remember that was another scene that was put in for the 20th anniversary release, but yeah, that was also like they didn't include that here. So yeah, so they didn't include like new footage in this film. Well, in this presentation, like they did for the 20th anniversary release. Yeah, so this really just seemed to really be the theatrical cut of the movie. Yeah, yeah. So really, just well, I so yeah, so really just there's not really a whole lot I can really say about it because yeah, it really is just the same film, so there's not really much the I can really go into. But yeah, I still did like seeing it. Like I said, the music sounded really great, and yeah, the visuals of like seeing ET like they looked really awesome in IMAX and stuff. Yeah, and also like something that I did kind of like I that did seem to be like a better quality in this film is like the ending when ET takes off in his ship when it leaves like the trail of the rainbow in the sky. Like when I like in IMAX, like it really did seem to actually bring out more of the colors of the rainbow. Yeah, when I'm like watching the film on TV, like the colors do look kind of like a little desaturated or really like not as clear as they did like in the IMAX presentation. Like I really did think that the colors did come out more clear here than they did like when and they do just like when watching it on TV or something. Yeah, so I guess that's like another thing that was like cool about seeing this movie in IMAX. Yeah, yeah. So really, just I really do think that just the highlights of the film really are just how like it really is like just seemed to be better picture quality. The music sounded really great, and yeah, and like I said, the true highlights of this film, like seeing it in IMAX, really are just like the visuals of like seeing ET and just like a lot of like the most famous like shots of the movie, such as like the the bikes flying and Elliot like flying past the moon and all that stuff. So those were really like the highlights of the movie. Like everything else, like it really just like really does just come off as just like still watching the same movie, just like on a bigger screen. Yeah. So yeah. So this film, like yeah, I guess like for the most part, if you go see this movie in IMAX, it probably is really just gonna like be like watching pretty much the exact same movie. But yeah, I still do think that it is worth going to see because yeah, it does have like better picture quality and the visuals of like some of the like scenes that the movie really is well known for. They look really awesome and stuff. So yeah, so I guess like the only gripe really is just like yeah, just have your get ready to plug your ears whenever like you see the kids on screen because yeah, they can like sound pretty annoying. So yeah. But yeah, it is. I am still glad that I did see this movie in IMAX. Just yeah, it's ET. It's one of the greatest movies of all time. So yeah, just like for the like for that factor and John Williams score, of course. Just yeah, just eh, just, yeah, and just like for purposes like that, and plus just like if you are a younger person, like part of a younger generation, and this is like a good chance for you to actually get the theater experience to see ET because yeah, it's really has like just stood the test of time and has been regarded as one of the greatest films of all time for the last 40 years. So yeah, so for that sake, I still do say that this is definitely worth going to see in IMAX. So yeah, so I do recommend that you do go see this movie in IMAX, especially if you are an ET fan. I think this film is going to continue to be in IMAX throughout the week. I'm not exactly sure like when they're going to stop showing it. I don't know if it's going to be like just for a few more days or if it's going to last a couple weeks or whatever the case may be. But yeah, just yeah, for those sakes, like yeah, go see this film in IMAX while you can because yeah, it really is like worth the watch. Just yeah, it really is just yeah, it just looks like so great and yeah, and just John Williams score it just sounds phenomenal. Yeah. So yeah, so just if you're an ET fan, yeah, you should definitely check this out because this is really like a yeah, this is really just like a will be a great experience. All right, yeah. So I guess this is the best way I can put it. Yeah. So yeah, so I guess this is all I really have to say. I know I really didn't say like a whole lot about it, but yeah, there really isn't really like too much to really say about the film. Like it just is really about like the highlights of seeing this film in IMAX over just watching it at home. Yeah. So yeah. So overall, yeah. If you are a fan of ET, go check this movie out while it's still on IMAX, and I'm not really sure how long that's gonna be. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So I guess this is all I can really say. All right. But yeah, ET and IMAX was definitely a great thing to see. All right. So yeah. So I guess that's all I have to say. All right. So those are my thoughts on ET and IMAX. I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to say about it. Yeah. And yeah. And like I've been saying, like I do have something like a plan and for like the second part of the month. So yeah. So in my next video, I probably will actually make the announcement of like what I am going to be doing for the second part of August, for the second half of August. Yeah. So stay tuned for that coming up next. All right. But I hope you guys enjoy what I had to say about ET and IMAX. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.